Good morning, Believe Nation. It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in people more than they believe in themselves. And my sincere hope is that if you see in yourself what I see in you, you'll be able to change the planet. So to help you on your journey, today's message is be authentic. Over to you, Oprah Winfrey.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
I think that success is a process. And I believe that my first Easter speech in the Kosciuszko Baptist Church at the age of 3.5 was the beginning. And that every other speech, every other book I read, every other time I spoke in public was a building block. So that by the time I first sat down to audition in front of a television camera and somebody says, read this, what allowed me to read it so comfortably and be so at ease with myself at that time was the fact that I'd been doing it a while. If I'd never read a book or I'd never spoken in public before, I would have been traumatized by it. So the fact that we went on the air with the Oprah Winfrey Show in 1986 nationally, and people say, oh, but you're so comfortable in front of the camera, you can be yourself. Well, it's because I've been being myself since I was 19. And I would not have been able to be as comfortable with myself had I not made mistakes on the air and been allowed to make mistakes on the air and understand that it doesn't matter. You know, there's no such thing to me as an embarrassing moment. No such thing. If I tripped and fell, if my bra strap showed, if my slip fell off, if I fell flat on my face, there's no such thing as an embarrassing moment because I know that there is not a moment that I could possibly experience on the air that somebody else hasn't already experienced. So when it happens, you say, oh, my slip fell off. And it's no big deal. I mean, like, I was on TV the other day and somebody says, oh, Oprah, you have a run. Have you not seen a run before in your life? Well, I get them too, let me tell you. So, I mean, I can't be embarrassed. I can't be embarrassed. Now, when I first started out, that was not true. Because I was pretending to be somebody I was not. I was pretending to be Barbara Walters. So I'd go to a news conference and I was more interested in how I phrased the question and how eloquent the question sounded as opposed to listening to the answer. Which always happens when you're interested in impressing people instead of doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it took me a while. It took me messing up on the air during a live newscast. I was doing a list of foreign countries and there was all these foreign names and then Canada was thrown in and I called Canada, Canada. And I got so tickled that I called Canada. I go, that wasn't Canada, that was Canada. Excuse me, that wasn't Canada, that wasn't Canada, that was Canada. And then I started laughing. Well, it became the first real moment I ever had. And the news director later said to me, well, if you do that, then you should just keep going. You shouldn't correct yourself and let people know. Well, I know. Well, who's ever heard of Canada? So that was, for me, the beginning of realizing that, oh, you can laugh at yourself and you can make a mistake and it's not the end of the world. You don't have to be perfect. And biggest lesson for me for television, because then it didn't matter. Didn't matter. Oh, sorry, bra strap showing.
Not being afraid to make mistakes is one of the hardest things to learn how to do, and probably one of the most useful and important things that you can learn, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a human being. You know, when I first started doing YouTube, I was terrified of making a mistake. I was terrified of what you guys would think. I was terrified of putting out an imperfect product. I was trying to memorize lines, and in my first videos, they were really fake. It was a fake version of me because I was trying to get the exact words right.
Everyone knows Walt Disney for his movies, theme parks, and cast of characters. What most people don't know is when he first started out, he had no money, he had to live in his office because he couldn't afford rent for an apartment, and he survived on a diet of cold beans because he couldn't afford food.
I would be sitting down, I'd be looking up, trying to memorize my lines, and what I realized with much more practice was that it doesn't matter the exact words that I use, it's more the feeling, it's more the genuineness, and it's taken me a lot of time to get through that, right? I've made 5,000 videos now, and I've been working on it, and working on it, and working on it. And I wish there were a lot more actual genuine moments too. I wish there were more mistakes. I don't really make a ton of bloopers when I'm making these videos. My team was always worried about walking through shots, and I'm actually excited. I think we got one where Alex was picking up a table and moving it out. Like I'm cheering and I'm pumped up that he's in the shot, that we made a kind of blooper, a mistake. Did we get Alex in there?
Did you get?
Yeah, nice.
Oh my God.
Nice, I love it. I love it. Even last month when my audio didn't work properly, you guys gave me a ton. It's probably the most negative comments in the history of our channel. Every video we put up, we got comments about the echo and am I in a cave, and people wanted to fly here to buy me a mic. And some of them were funny and some of them were just super hate and negative. And I kept the videos up because I make mistakes, right? Because I make mistakes, my team makes mistakes, we're still human. And I wanted to use that as, look, here's a channel that has 800,000 subscribers and we're still making mistakes and we're still trying to figure things out. And that's authentic for me. And so I think the biggest thing is, one, just realizing, having the awareness to understand that you are holding yourself back because of fear of judgment, fear of not being yourself, fear of what people might think about you. Most of the time we do things that are so just subconscious and we don't take action on it. Recognizing that here's a moment right now where you are afraid to do something because of how somebody might judge you, and then doing something about it, and then taking action against it, and then slowly building up that muscle so that the next time it happens, you're able to expand your comfort zone a little bit more, and just being able to recognize that in your head, you have this you rationalize it. You come up with all the reasons why you shouldn't be doing something, but really it's just that you're afraid. And so if you can get to the deeper cause of, I'm just afraid, that's okay, I'm gonna push through this, and I'm gonna expand my comfort zone and get stronger and stronger each time. Having that awareness and then doing something about it will help you become more authentic. And it doesn't just help you in business. People want to deal with people. People want to understand your story. People want to feel like they connect to you. People connect to me more now than they did when I first started. And I have the same message that I did when I started. It's just the way I deliver it is much more authentic. And so if you want to reach people and have them take action and grow your business, authenticity is really important. You'll hear that message over and over again on the channel. But it also just helps you as a human being to know that you can be yourself, be comfortable in your own skin, not be constantly worried when you're out at parties or in social events of how people might be seeing you and judging you. If that's the world you live in, where you're constantly afraid of how people are seeing you, then you're never actually going to be yourself, and that is not a happy place to be. And so that awareness to understand when you're holding yourself back, and then to actually do something about it, take the action even though you're afraid, do that consistently, and you'll see significant growth, not just in your personal life, but also in your business. So the question today is, I'm curious, what is the thing that you have the hardest time being authentic about? The thing you have the hardest time being your true self about? Leave it down in the comments below. Really curious to find out. And if you leave a comment within the first couple hours of this video going live, you have a chance to win one of 2 daily prizes. I also want to give a quick shout out to Penelope Stansfield from greenfrog.fr. Penelope, thank you so much for picking up a copy of my book, Your One Word. Really, really means a lot to me, and I hope you're enjoying the read. Thank you guys again for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning for another shot of espresso.
Adopt the mode of authentic being. And that is something like refusing to participate in the lie, in deception in the lie, to orient your speech as much as you can towards the truth, and to take responsibility for your own life and perhaps also for the lives of other people. And there's something about that that's meaningful and responsible and noble, but also serves to mitigate the very suffering that produces, say, the nihilism or the flee into the arms of or the escape into the arms of totalitarians to begin with. You need something to shelter you against your own vulnerability.
You know when you're watching a movie and you hear a line and it feels like, oh, they thought that was going to be a line in the trailer. Like you just know that on the set someone was like, that's a trailer moment. Like it doesn't, because it doesn't feel real necessarily in life, but it just feels like, it's a great soundbite, it's a great thing. There's a visual equivalent of that, and you got to be really careful, because sometimes I'll think, this is like one of those moments, and then you end up doing it, and the truth is it ends up feeling posed. It just doesn't feel authentic. I try for those sometimes, they never seem to work. I think that the key for any of this stuff, and you know, whether we've accomplished it or not is up to the audience, but I think that the key to any movie working, certainly a movie called Star Trek, which could be seen as campy, is finding authenticity, and it's whether it's in a little nuance, a little moment, a character exchange, a look, a glance, or a huge plot point. There's something for me that is, if I don't really understand what's going on, if I can't really get into or under the skin of these characters, none of the spectacle is going to matter.
And I give it my all. I mean, I practice every day, and I try and stay authentic and uncompromising. We don't play any, crowd-pleasing stuff. We don't, get out there and play when the Saints go marching in, and we play blues, hymns, ragtime, whorehouse music, stuff that was authentically New Orleans, and we play it in the New Orleans style as best we can. And so I don't feel that I'm a sellout. I'm doing the best I can.